Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is Soloing the Stalker on City of Heroes on the Homecoming server. We're level 25 with our character, and we have 45,000 XP roughly to go to get to the next level, 6 million influence, and we're on the Scroll of Teleco story arc, so we're going to do the next part. We're going to try to recover the actual scroll from, where are we going? From the Banished Pantheon. I still haven't fought a giant totem yet, which I would love to do. We're about halfway through level 25. I do remember, because I mentioned this some episodes back, that my plan is to, from now on, probably, now that we have our SOs and we've seen how this character performs, restrict the videos to actual story arcs. We have two that we're on right now, so we're going to do those. But I won't subject you to me wandering around trying to get the contacts to give me an arc. Is this really going to be? This is a warrior's not banished. Is that really where the scroll is? That would be kind of weird. We have 2 levels to go to get to our next set of enhancements. And that means 1 more power, which will probably be this energy drain to gain us endurance. And, oh really? Oh, I thought they had changed that back where the enhancements replace the inspirations. Mission over? Well, that's ridiculous. Let's see if we can find a boss here. Let's see if we can find a boss. Let's see. I'm not interested in fighting minions, but sometimes over here there's a boss. Let's see if there's anybody interesting over here. I mean, not that I mind fighting in minions, but in these outdoor missions there's just like 8 billion of them. And I thought maybe there'd be a boss to fight sometimes over here. There's a lieutenant. But no bosses that I see. Just some lieutenants. This is really weird. You would think they'd at least have a boss in this mission, but they don't. So, guess we can head on out. I mean, I like this story arc, but I don't know why we would need to wander around that open area fighting minions. Alright, so now I have to deliver the scroll to Dr. Chang, who is in Independence Port. So let's head in there. I think Chang is north port, right? The north part of the port. And I mentioned this before. In the old days, there was not a south train station in Independence Port. There was only the northern one. And now we need to recover some tomes from the Circle of Thorns. So this will probably send us to Orenbega, which is their underground cavern city network. Don't know which side of the town we'll be on there, but that's okay. And, well, we have accuracy, level 25, so we can actually use that. Let's go ahead and boost. We had one, I think, that was only level 24, right? So let's go ahead and boost that, or at least replace it if it fails. There we go. So it's level 26 now, which makes that pretty good. Go away. Okay, so we're going... Oh, I should have gone to the south one. That's alright. Hopping by super jump over this elevated highway that goes in two directions. This is a weird one, right? Because you have this highway going south and north, and then parallel to it, another highway going south and north, or whatever this is. That's weird, right? Wouldn't this be the same highway? Why would you need 2 versions of it? Why wouldn't you just have 6 lanes on this side going north and 6 lanes on this side going south? It's rather strange. Right? This says Kings Row, Talus Island, Overbrook. Over here, it says Kings Road, Talus Island, Overbrook. That's weird. Why would you have both of those? That's a little strange. And then you've got another set right next to it that are going to the same places. So there's actually four different highways, is it? Or three? Three different highways all next to each other, all going in the same direction, which is a little weird. But I always remember hopping over this, getting up here, and then hopping all the way down as I went to my missions. And I was doing that the late summer of the first year that I was playing City of Heroes. And that was the year my first postdoc ran out, and my second one hadn't started yet, and I was kind of unemployed for a couple months. And I spent a lot of time, in addition to job searching and stuff, I spent a lot of time playing COH. Now, one thing I should not get caught in with this character is a lot of times in the Ornbega map, and let's zoom in here. Here we go. Zoom in. There we go. This side of this hallway split and this side of this hallway split have two different spawns. And a typical thing for me to do is to come down here, see one of them, dive into a spawn and start fighting, and then the other spawn aggroes to me and I get double spawns. That shouldn't happen with this character because I will be coming in as a Stalker and preparing my assault a little more thoughtfully instead of scrapper locking my way in. So hopefully that won't happen. One of the things I forgot to mention, I talked about the story arcs I like. You know what I completely forgot, and I think this also in the late 20s, Library of Lost Souls, which happens down here in Ornbega as well. Yeah, we definitely want to do that one too. Alright, so these guys are over here. One of those ghosts was here and I got shot him. These guys did not aggro. Why? Because they're in a different spawn. The spawns are kind of blind to each other. They don't actually see each other getting attacked. If I attack one of these guys, these two will notice it. But if I attack a different spawn, these guys won't notice it. Even if that guy has wandered, if somebody from that spawn has wandered into their area. It's a little weird. I've always thought they probably should aggro, but they don't. So now we're going to have to wait for this to re-up. You're going to move now. Stop moving. I want to attack you. Okay. I'm going to try to keep my eye on the 2-hit. Right? Because that's going to be affected by their debuffing. I have to pause here and I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. We're continuing, so we have 6 books to find. That's what made me think of the Library of Lost Souls, because that's an area where you're actually not searching for books, you're searching for spirits in the library. But the Library of Lost Souls books, that's what made me think of it. Okay, build up time. I've been saving it for one of these lieutenants because they do a lot of debuffing, but not if they're defeated that fast. %92 to hit, 93%, right? So there's a little bit of debuffing going on. Because I should be at 95% against, well, maybe not. The 92 and 93 is probably because we're now even level to our enhancements. That could be. So we've still got 5 books to find. Yeah, so one of the ironies of this mission, which is I actually kind of like, is that the books, I don't know if it's going to happen every time, but a lot of times the books are not found on the bookshelves, but are actually found on the non-book shelves, like in the urns and stuff. Okay, this is one of these like sort of gridded hallway things. You'll see what I mean. You see it makes like a little grid. Go this way. Here a glowy. So we want to stay out of the red. The red will do damage to us and will take us out of hide. So this is a chest. Book. Bookshelf. No book, right? So what seems to have happened is they've taken the books off the bookshelf and hidden them nearby in another spot. I don't know who thinks that that's going to actually. Can we get through here? That's going to actually. Oh, I'm taking damage. Don't want to take damage. Yeah, they're going to see me. So let's placate. Notice though, my 2-hit has dropped to 69%. Why am I not attacking him? Oh, because I'm not targeting him. Somehow I untargeted. 42% to hit. 31% to hit. See how horrible it is? And the problem with 31% to hit is it's actually like 0% to hit. You cannot hit them. It's horrible. I know that, like, by the numbers that they show us in the game, it's not true, but very much it feels in the game like if you do not have at least a 65% chance to hit, you miss. Right? The game feels very binary, right? If you have like a very high chance to hit, you hit a lot. If you have a low percent chance, you don't hit half the time, you just never hit. Just constant missing. I know that's not exactly how it actually works, but that's absolutely how it feels when you're playing the game. At least to me. That's how it feels. Okay. Now we gotta look around for possible glowies. I hear one. Where are you? I hear it over here. Is it inside somewhere? Ah, here we go. Right, so probably no book here. But book here. Yep. They must really think I'm stupid. That I'm going to search this bookshelf, I'm not going to see it, I won't think to look in the chest next to it. Nobody does that. Why would you do that? It's not a bookshelf, it can't hold any books. So I like the idea that the bookshelves are empty and the books are hidden in other places, but I don't like the fact that the places they're hidden is right next to it. At least put it across the room. You know, this bookshelf over here, then book over there. You know, they do have a lot more. Seem to have a lot more bookshelves than there are books to find. But yeah, I feel like it could have been a little bit less on the nose. You know. What do we got over here? Anything? I don't see any glowies or hear them. So let's head up. Okay, we've been that way. Let's go the other way. Have I gone up here? I don't think so. There's guys here, but are there any glowies? Sometimes there's a glowy on the corners here. Doesn't seem like it. How about inside? We go up. This is very cool, by the way. I love this thing. I don't know what it is. A little altar or something, but it's very cool. Alright, let's dispatch this guy first. And then we'll just finish off the defender. No problem. Alright, so there's another doorway over here. Right? Yeah. But I'm gonna have to go back, aren't I? Isn't there more up here? Yeah, we're gonna have to go back. Actually, here and here. I'll leave that there just to remind myself where we have to go, but we'll go this way for now. We're going to have to complete the whole place, and there's really no efficient way to do it. Oh, I see word balloons. Oh, sometimes it's bosses, but apparently not. Alright, these guys are yellow, so we'll go ahead and do build up so you don't miss them. And we want to one-shot at least one of them. That Siphon Life is going to be so nice when we have it enhanced for plus heal. It is going to be so awesome. Because you just throw it into your attack chain and you're just constantly gaining health. And my recollection is with Quintessence Lass, who was a Dark Melee Brute, it really worked well. She also had... Yeah, so what we're missing because of... Is it no? Are we missing anything from Placate? This thing. One of her powers, I feel like, was... for Quintessence Lass was an AoE where she like drained the 2-hit of the other guys and boosted herself. I think the build-up replaces that. And my guess is the reason the build-up replaces that is because as a Stalker, if you did that, you would reveal yourself and aggro everybody. And that would defeat the purpose of being a Stalker. I hear another glowy. Here we go. More empty bookshelves. Yep. Yeah, it took me a while to realize that the pattern of... Oh, no, don't go in there. I don't care about the damage it does, but I don't like that it reveals me. It took me a while to figure out that the pattern of the... See, it revealed me, and I thought I was hidden by then. Oh well, sloppy. It took me a while to realize that the pattern of the glowies was that the bookshelves don't have books, and the non-bookshelves do. Oh, the missing. Oh my gosh. Even with 86% to hit. Okay, there's another glowy over here somewhere. Here we go. Oh, there is a book on that bookshelf, so I guess it's just random. These blue things are endurance regeneration, which is quite nice. It doesn't affect the enemies because enemies never, look at them, they never really use endurance. So endurance is not a problem for the mobs. I think I have told this story before, right? People complained about it. The endurance affecting powers like electricity, which drains endurance, those are absolutely useless in PvE because the villains, the NPCs, never ever ever run out of endurance. The thing is, I believe that's because the developers tried to do that, and they found that the very primitive AI, if you want to call it that, that this game has, the computer algorithms, etc., that make up what the enemy, the decision algorithms for what the enemy's doing, they just could not handle endurance, and they would run out of endurance, and then they couldn't do anything, right? So they had to dramatically, like, their endurance cost for everything they do is like 10% of ours, right? So if my Shadow Maul costs me 8 endurance, 10 without being enhanced, theirs costs 0.8. And so because of that, they have 100 endurance and they're doing 0 or 1, right? Or 2 endurance at a time, and then it regens and stuff. It just doesn't actually affect them at all. So having endurance suppressing or draining powers as a hero is useless. It's the most frustrating thing about electricity because I always wanted to do like electric Stalker or Brute or something, but I know as I'm doing it that I have the most useless secondary effect in the game against villains because they don't suffer endurance loss. So unless you can find a way to completely drain their endurance... Oh boy. This is the portal room. We'll come back to this. I hear a glowy, so there probably is something in there, but Let me do the rest of the base and see if we can get the other book, so at least I'll know where it is. So that portal room will cause a whole bunch of enemy demons to spawn, one after another. And the way I always approach that room is I ignore them and let them attack me, and I pummel the portal. Because if you don't and you just fight them, they will endlessly come out of the portal. Now, some people like to use that to farm XP, because you can get a lot of XP from that. But if you're trying to actually stop them and you want to move on and do the mission, right, you don't want to just stand there endlessly doing it. But I don't know if there are going to be any books up here. And dudes, you guys get to get debuffed the way I do. I have the same powers you have. There you go. Oh, crap. Did they see me? Okay, there's a portal here, but it's just going to probably lead across. Yeah. Okay. So all we have is these guys. And there's actually nothing here. Right? Yeah, it's just a dead end. Okay, we're going to wait for build-up since it's almost ready. I'm really happy with the endurance use of this character. We've been able to run all 4 toggles without major problems. Oh shoot, I didn't wait for build-up. I'm an idiot. I'll do it this way. This should take him out pretty fast. Got him. And see how we're missing a lot with 50% to hit. That took him out, and now this guy. Done. Alright, so we do have to go back to the demon room. The portal room. I don't know what... Is there an official name for that? Portal room, I guess? Now, we are stealthed, but I'm pretty sure if I get too close to the portal, whether I'm stealthed or not, it will start generating demons. Now, I don't know if they'll know where I am, but it will start generating demons, and they will just keep coming out of it. I think, I might be mistaken about this, and I don't know if they've changed it, but I feel like at least originally it used to be the case that when the demons came out of the portal, each one took a teeny little bit of health out of the portal, so it wasn't actually endless. So the portal's over there. I want to stay as away from it as I can. And take a look over that way, because I think I hear a glowy over there. I feel like we're going to have no choice but to go after this portal. Here we go. There come the demons, but we're going to focus on the portal. There's 2 of them already. Should take it out. Okay, that's the end of the portal. So no more demons will come after me. Are you guys having fun? Why can I not hit him? 95% chance and I keep missing. Why? I don't think they have any resistance to me. This guy can't figure out how to get through the portal. Let's placate you. And then assassinate. Okay. Now I hear a glowy. Where is it? It's quite loud. Is it up? There. And it's not a bookshelf, so there's probably a book in it. Now there are a bunch of other portals in here, so you have to be careful where you go, because if you get near any of them, they will trigger. Right, so you take a look. Right, you got that one there, you got this one there. Oh, I got too close to that one. You see how it triggered? And I just got too close to that one too, and probably that one. I don't hear any other glowies. I think we're going to have to take these things out. It's interesting, the behemoths don't seem to be coming out as fast as I remember. By now there should be like 5 of them. I wonder if I'm having endurance problems. How did that guy get down so fast? I didn't hit him that much, did I? Or are they losing hit points if they generate and nobody fights them? Maybe they've eased up on these portals. The question is, with one thing left, where's the last book? There are no asterisks, and I don't hear anything. There's another portal down there. Is this going to be one of these missions where I can't find the last thing? God, that I have to say that does happen so much in this game. And I really thought they had fixed it with the asterisks, but I don't see any asterisks. Right? So I don't know where the other glowy is. Oh, this is going to trigger. Alright, well, let's just take care of it. Yeah, so one of the problems with this, I don't remember this happening either, is some of them are getting stuck behind the portal, which is kind of weird. Alright, so now we're going to Assassin Strike. And then smack this guy around. These guys are weaker than I remember. Or maybe they're just weak to dark. Don't know. There's no glowy in here either. Guys, we might have to auto-complete this, because I'm not sure. I would have thought the glowy would be in here somewhere. There was one of them. There were actually 2 of them, but only one of them contained a book. Right? These guys down here. But I don't see any other ones. I mean, we may as well take these portals out while we're here. I love how you can miss a static object that's literally the size of the side of a barn. Oh, I didn't mean to click 2 of them. I meant to click 1 and move the other one. So the main reason I'm destroying all these is so that I have the luxury to crawl all over the map and try to listen for glowies. But I don't hear any. Don't see any. I think they're getting hit by the Shadow Maul too. Come Come on out, guys. I don't want to fight you back there. It's too cramped. Oh, there are 3 of them now. Okay, cool. And one of them's stuck. Yeah, they keep getting kind of stuck behind the... These are lieutenants? They don't feel like lieutenants, they feel like minions. Getting me tons of XP. A ridiculous amount of XP. That's what I was saying. These are like, people see them as XP farms. I wonder if they've limited how many guys come out of them so that you can't farm them anymore. But guys, I don't see any glowies here. So I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to look through the rest of the base, and I'll let you know what I find. Alright, well, I crawled all over that place, and I could not find another glowy. I did end up activating you can see my inspirations are down, I ended up activating a portal, and I don't know what happened, but like 3 of them came out, and boy, they pounded me. They almost killed me. While I was trying to take out the portal, and I didn't realize in my health bar got in the red. I'm like, oh crap, and I tried to click on the greens, and I was in the middle of a shadow mall, and man, if they'd hit me at that point, I would have face planted. But what we're going to have to unfortunately do is complete this mission. And we can't do that until tonight. So I guess we're going to abort the mission. Can we not abort the mission? Alright, what I'm going to do is I'll disconnect and I'll reconnect, and then we will start Mercedes Sheldon's missions. We may as well do that while we wait. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Let's do Mercedes Crown of Glory. I don't know if I've done this one much before. First thing we do is fight the warriors in Talos Island. And yeah, we'll auto-complete that Scroll of Tieleku mission. I might do that off-screen, and then we will go on with the next part of the story arc. I find that frustrating that if it had just put an asterisk where the last glowy was, I could have found it. But without that, I crawled all over that map. I did not hear anything that sounded like a glowy, so I don't know. I cranked the volume up. I spent like 15 minutes wandering around there. Nope. So there's a limit to how much I'm willing to do that, given that there are all these other missions I could do instead, whether I like the story arc or not. I just don't find it pleasurable to crawl all over the Orenbega map or the cave maps looking for glowies that I can't find because they're put in some little corner somewhere. I guess the developers thought finding the Easter eggs in the mission was fun, but when you've clicked on everything and you're going to spend 20 minutes just crawling over a map you've already cleared, that's to me not interesting content, and so we're just going to sidestep that. In the meantime, we'll fight the warriors. Oh, I didn't get any new inspirations, but that's alright, we probably don't need them. As we go, one of the things I want to mention, I just sort of thought of this, some time ago I was watching a YouTube video about gaming, and the person was talking about why do we return to old games that we really like, and he talked about it as comfort games, right? These are games that you find comforting and enjoyable to play, and they probably have, let me zoom in, they probably have some, nostalgia, yes, but it's different. It's more than just that. He says not just nostalgia, it's that the game brings you back to a time in your life when maybe things were different and less complicated. You were younger, you were healthier, you were happier, whatever. Or you just remember the good times with your friends playing an MMO or something like that. And that's definitely the case with me for City of Heroes. I remember I really played a lot of this game when the pandemic first hit. We now know that everything worked out with it for the most part. That's not to say that people didn't get very sick and that many thousands of people didn't die. But a lot of the apocalyptic predictions didn't come true. I remember this one website that loved being alarmist when I don't even know if they'd actually officially declared it a pandemic yet, but they were looking at the data from China and all the people who were dying, and then it got to the United States, and supposedly it's now the end of 2025. When you're listening to this, it'll be 2026. He claimed that the U.S. population would be down to 50 million people from 300 and something million by 2025 in the next 5 years. That's how many people were going to die from the pandemic. So there were a lot of dire predictions. I didn't necessarily believe that, but we didn't really know what was going to happen. It was a stressful time for a lot of people. All this sort of work from home stuff had just started, and one of the things I did was I turned to COH, right? A game that I remember playing. Oh, are we being ambushed? Hey guys, placate. That's the end of that ambush. Oh, this guy can see me, but that's all right. It was very much a comfort game to me during that time period. I played it and remembered the times when there wasn't a pandemic, right? And I was able to kind of get away from that and just enjoy an old, fun game that I had played years earlier, right? That was when I was doing Tiger Strike. And she was like this level, I think, maybe a little lower. I feel like I remember running around Independence Port and saying something like, yeah, I'm home, working from home because there's a pandemic on, etc. It's definitely a comfort game for me. Are we being ambushed again? The last ambush came from this direction. I don't mind, but I'd like to know before I start fighting somebody else. Are you guys ambushing me? What's the story? No? This looks like it's going to be a huge map, so we're probably only going to do this mission today. In the next episode, we'll have auto-completed the mission with the glowies, and we'll be ready for the next Scroll of Tieleku, and then we'll come back to this story arc. By the way, Siphon Life saved my butt against those demons. If I hadn't hit with that thing 3 or 4 times, there was an ambush coming. If I hadn't hit with that thing 3 or 4 times, I would have been dead. Hi. Yeah, I see you ambushing me. And you walked right into my Shadow Maul, dummy. And then you can be placated. This way, I will assassinate you. And see how, since we don't need to we don't need to use our inspirations, we can let them fill back up. Did you see me? I think he did. Maybe not. Yeah, he did. That is some pretty cool staff moves you got there, buddy. Those are some pretty cool staff moves. But they're not going to save you. And let me have some hit points while you're at it. See, we've now got most of the inspirations back that I want from a nearly empty tray. And the way to do that is just don't use a lot of inspirations, and then if you get extras of the ones you don't need, just use them to leave space for the ones you want. Pretty easy to do. Let's do build up with this guy. Very nice. And then bang. At least these guys don't self-res, so they're not going to wake back up after you knock them down. You don't have to wait for them like I usually do with the Freak Show, where you have to wait and see if they wake back up. Sorry, checking on my heating pad that I'm still using on my foot because it's still bothering me. I felt like it wasn't getting warm enough, and I was just checking to make sure that it was um, on the maximum heat level. Is there another ambush coming? It looks like it. Alright, let's finish these guys off pretty quickly then. Oh, of course I missed. The ambush may take a little while to get to me. They do sometimes have time finding you. There it comes. Oh, wow. Okay. Boss. Placate. Time to use some inspirations. Okay, well, I was just interrupted. Wow, I'm getting really banged. Gang banged, or whatever you want to call it here. But they're running away. Where are you going? Who's throwing crap at me? You? Here's Menelaus. He's hurting from the assassin hit that I gave him. And that should take him out. Yeah, I thought there was a guy named Menelaus, and there he is. Well, this is quite the ambush. Look at this. What did they hit me with, like 9 guys? Goodness. And that's the mission, but we'll finish this guy off. That would have been much tougher if we weren't a Stalker. Right, being able to placate, being able to do that assassin strike on Menelaus, that actually helped a lot. We're about to get to 26th level, I think, guys. 26 was one of my favorite levels because it often got you a really good attack power. My guess is in the old days, that's when, I think so, right? In the old days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so there's still 9 primary powers. And 9 secondaries. So some secondaries actually have more than 9 now. Anyway, Midnight Grasp would have unlocked at 32. Right? I guess Touch of Fear would have unlocked at 26. And this would have unlocked at 28. This would have unlocked at 35. And this would have unlocked at 38. And a little bit of trivia. The reason why the powers of all your sets finish unlocking at level 38 is because level 40 was the max when the game started. So they couldn't have them unlock at 50, right? So then they had to come up with something else, and that's where the prestige power pools come in. Because everybody could have all of their powers by 40. They had to do that because that's how the game started, and it was that way for the first 6 months. And then when they finally released the level 50 content, they had to have something else, and that's where the what I want to do here. I want to go to super base and get my inspirations. No, actually, we're good. We got enough. That's where the epic pool power, prestige powers, whatever you want to call it, come in. Right? Things like the energy, conserve energy, and focused accuracy, and all those guys that come in under the one power set. That's the only one I ever get. I don't know what we're going to do with this character. I don't know that she's going to need that. The focused accuracy is really hard to bypass because it is very helpful when you're up against somebody debuffing your accuracy and or with a very high defense. So I said we were only going to do that one mission, but it ended pretty quickly. So let's do this one. Let's see if we can get to level 26, and we'll get our next power, which is going to be this Energize. This one here, Energy Drain. At some point we'll get the Disrupt, but we don't really need to. We don't need an AoE Disorient right now, so... we need to get... Oh, 5 of Hector's generals. Okay, this is a pretty cool mission. I think I'm going to go through here and find the generals. So this is going to be bosses. Let's find them. This is a really big mission, so I don't feel the need to defeat all. Right, let's just take down the generals. And that should get us tons of XP. These guys who are all by themselves, I'm like, I can assassinate them. They'll get us good XP too. The thing is, what I have to remind myself is stay here until you're hidden again. Yeah, this is a really long mission. What I'll do is every time build-up recharges, I'll assassinate a lieutenant. But I want to find the bosses, because the boss fights are cool. And that's what'll be good for us. Let me zoom in. Okay. Guys, I know sometimes I forget to zoom in. I do apologize, but I'm so used to running with myself, with the camera zoomed out as far as possible that it's just still not second nature to me. Alright, well, there's a lieutenant, and we can build up assassinate. There you go. That goes there. We don't need that. Hidden again. So we're basically stalking this mission, but what we're really doing is looking for the bosses. And the weird thing is, the bosses aren't in the main rooms. Like, you get to these big rooms, you figure that's got to be where a boss is. And a lot of times they end up just being randomly in the hallways, which is why I'm making sure to target everybody. Right, this guy's a hoplite, but he's not a boss. Oh wait, there's space up here we didn't connect to. I thought we were going to connect to this, but we didn't yet. So let's see if we can find one of the bosses over here. Nope. There he is. Boss number 1. 5 generals we have to take out. These guys are going to be... We get 384 from the lieutenants. This guy's going to be a huge amount of XP. So let's see. How much XP do we need to level? We only need 4,000. Oh, we're going to get that before we finish all the bosses, I think. See how much this guy gives me. I think we're going to get ambushed now. That's okay. Yeah, each boss gives 1,000. Yeah, we're going to level up long before the mission's over. Here comes the ambush. Or no, I thought I saw the ambush coming. Let's stick for a minute and see if an ambush is heading toward us. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is. Okay, come on. I see I'm trapped between 2 groups. My own fault, right? Because they didn't take them out. But that's okay. Alright, so note to self for the future. When you fight the other bosses, take out the spawns around them first. Because you will be ambushed. Okay, that's 1 boss. And just that XP alone was enough to get us like half the XP needed, right? We needed like 4,500, now we only need 3,000. Okay, this is a dead end here. So we're done here. We want to now go to this side. There should be, I think, another boss down that branch. Well, build-up's ready, so that means you're done. It's so hilarious doing that. Oh, that guy saw me. Alright, well, that's fine. Because I can placate you. Gotta remember to stay in place after I defeat these guys. If I don't want the aggro. Okay, so next boss. That's not a boss. That's not a boss. But we can still... Let's assassinate. can almost completely one-shot a lieutenant without even using the build-up. Almost. My guess is if they were green enhancements, we probably could have. And this is a dead end. And that was a dead end too, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come down here. I want to make the walls appear on my map, so I don't wonder if there's somewhere else to go down here and I missed something. I know that I did not. Right, so I try to run it up against the walls and just draw the walls in on the map so that when I'm like, where is this stupid last general? I can be sure of where I've been versus where I'm going. Notice we have a huge amount of the map still left. And you're going to be the victim of an assassination. That guy's worth 500 XP. Right? Just a handful of those guys will level me. I just love how these guys are always like doing these muscle poses. There's always one of them doing it. It's hilarious. Hui! Hui! What do we got here? Well, you can take an Assassin's Strike. I wouldn't mind having 500 more XP. And I'll just Assassin's Strike you. Bye. So many one-shots with this character. I love it. So where's the next boss? Man, this is a huge network of caves. Oh! He's +1. Now, realistically, what I should probably do is look for a different boss. I'm not going to do that, but what I should probably do is look for a different boss and get myself leveled up so that he's +0 to me. But let's see how we do against a +1 boss. He might almost level us, actually. That guy. Right? Because he's going to give me like 1500 XP or something, and we only need, what? 192? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, let's just level up. Right? This guy can do it for us. And that's level up. Okay, so we've leveled up. The boss is now orange. We're now hidden. And we'll do a built-up Assassin's Strike to the boss. And tenor. And that takes care of him. 2 bosses down. Says 4, but there we go. That counts. Alright, I'm going to make sure there aren't any bosses in here. They're almost never in these rooms. It's really weird that the rooms are to me, the rooms are the most likely place. I'm going to draw the walls in on the map just so that I don't think that I need to come back here. The rooms are the most likely place where you would think these guys would be, and they never seem to spawn in the room. They always seem to spawn in hallways, which is really bizarre. This is a dead end. Okay. So now we're going to head south. We still have 3 more bosses to take out. This is an obscenely long mission. And if you're not a stalker, boy, does it take a long time. Is that an ambush coming for me? I'm not going to worry about it. Again, no bosses in these rooms usually. You can imagine how long this mission would take if I fought every single spawn. It's really kind of silly. Alright, and this is another dead end. Oh no, it's not. There's another room. But... oh, there's a boss. Is that... there he is. There is a boss in this room. Okay. We should be able to take this guy out without him aggroing. I'm not sure. Let's just take the boss. We don't really need build up for this guy. He's -1. And there's the ambush. Okay, shot them all. Alright, I'm not going to chase him actually. And there's another ambush coming. I mean, they really like their ambushes, these warriors. Doesn't work, but they do like them. 2 generals left. Okay, Mr. Shooter, you're gonna have to come to me. No, you're gonna come to me. Come on. Okay. Let's go back into hide. And now we have another whole section to do, right? Yep. Oh, all this. We have been to this room, right? Yep. Yeah, it's weird now because the bosses, if they're -1 to me, are going to be yellow instead of orange. And I'm used to seeing orange and red bosses, not yellow bosses. So my eye is going to have to pick that up. Okay, go this way. Well, you're a white con lieutenant, so you probably go down in 1 shot. Yep. Oh, I thought that was 1 guy plus a minion and it was a boss, but it's not. Man, look at this cave network. Yeah, I honestly, my feeling on this is I'm not sure what the developers were smoking when they came up with these kinds of missions. Because this is pure grind, right? This is this huge, long mission. If you want me to fight 5 bosses, fine, have me fight 5 bosses. But this idea of like grinding your way through all of these spawns just to fight the 5 bosses is absurd. And the way the tunnel network is and everything, it's like just designed to force you to fight everybody. Why? Just 'cause. Wow, that's a lot of damage he did to me, but we can heal some of it back. And there's another ambush coming. Oh, and I aggroed these guys. Okay. Is that the ambush? Or did I aggro those guys too? I guess I aggroed those guys somehow too. Pretty sloppy, but we're alright. Our endurance is starting to be a little bit hurt. That's because our enhancements are now yellow on things like our endurance reducers and our stamina. So I was sloppy and aggroed the whole room. That's the other problem. Doesn't seem to be an ambush coming. Where else? Okay, so we need to go down there. This is slightly risky. If an ambush shows up, I'll get caught with whoever sees me plus the ambush. But I'm not too afraid of these guys. And you can be one-shotted. So we have one level left, guys, to our next set of SOs. And if we look at recipes, yeah, these are all level 25 and 26. So I'm not even considering recipes below level 30, and only generic enhancements, right? These guys, level 25. So something like that, this one, I'd be willing to slot, but notice so level 25 is 32%. Let's go in here and check, right? This even level is 33%, right? So a level 25 enhancer is more like in between a -1 and a +0 enhancement. The level 30s are over 33. I think they're 34%, so they're better than a white enhancement. So I want at least, oh, this is the other boss. I want at least level 30s, and preferably 35s, really. Whoops. That's what I want to do. All right, let's take this guy out. This is our last boss. What's his name? Dojin. Or Dolan. Dolan. And that's that. We completed the mission. Let's head out. Yeah, that mission is obnoxious if you're not a stalker. Because it's just all these battles with white con minions, spawn after spawn after spawn in these little caves. I don't know. I would prefer more short missions than fewer long missions. To me, I don't mind fighting that number of spawns in 3 or 4 different missions because they're going to be on different maps and it's more dynamic. But it's just the same monotonous map with just this featureless cave with junk in the corners and rocks and walls and sand. Not a fan of doing a mission that big. Okay, so we are all set, guys. Let's head back to the main island. Somebody did post in one of my videos and agreed with me that Founders Falls is a pretty cool place. If you're going to live somewhere, I'd love to live on Talos Island. Founders Falls is also gorgeous. I really like Founders Falls, but because Founders Falls has so many high-level enemies, I always feel like if I lived in Founders Falls, I would just be dead right away. But it's not like I could defeat the guys. I'm a normal human. It's not like I would be safe on Talos Island, right? And to a normal human, I can't imagine that a level 20 warrior is going to be any safer to encounter than a level 30 Cray. Or a level 35 Richty. Yeah, they might be more or less dangerous to the player characters, but to me as a human being, they'd all be dangerous. I'd be killed by a Hellion, a level 1 Hellion, right? So, all right, let's level up. Man, those bosses got us a lot of XP. New level of power. And we're going to get energy drain, right? So this is going to be an AoE power. I think I'm going to put it up here. And we're going to just go in an empty area, but when you trigger it, it does this thing where everybody in this radius, right, gives you more endurance, right? So it's a 12-foot radius, so it's not huge, right? If you think about the character is about 6 feet tall, so it goes out to about here. Just, when you're, It's not going to hit guys all the way out. It's just nearby, right? And it gives a little bit of defense, which is kind of silly, but what it does is it reduces the endurance on the target and it gives you endurance. So it takes 33% of their endurance away. That doesn't hurt them at all, but it adds 25 endurance to me. It recharges once every minute, so we're going to want a triple recharge. And then I don't know what kinds of enhancers go on it. It takes endurance modification, right? Oh, and it costs, so here's the fun part. It costs 13 endurance to run, to use it, right? And then it gives you back 25, so it's really only giving you back 12 endurance. So endurance reduction works on this. So my guess is I'm probably better off putting like an endurance reducer and maybe one endurance modification on it rather than a bunch of endurance mod, because otherwise it's still going to cost 13 endurance to run it anyway. So the first thing we're going to do is put endurance on it. Maybe what we'll do is reduce endurance, recharge, and then endurance modification. And I don't know if we're going to have more than 3 slots to put on it because we still got to slot all of these powers. So level 27, we're probably going to ignore energy drain for now because we were able to run well enough without it. We'll probably put one on Siphon Life and maybe one on Build Up so that we can speed that up. And then at level 27, we will upgrade all of these enhancements, and then we will add new enhancements to the blank slots. So that's the plan, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Next episode, we will try to finish up the Scroll of Tieleku, and I do apologize for not being able to find that last glowy. And then we'll finish the Midnighter storyline for Meshadi. So we'll probably finish those 2 story arcs next level, and then I may not bring you back to level 27, depending on whether I can grab another story arc from one of the other contacts. Once I do, then I'll bring you guys back. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been Soloing the Stalker on City of Heroes.